got out of hand, and then we have two wars that have started, two major wars, and they were pretty avoidable, if you ask me. But yeah,
Okay. So with that being said, um, I do want to let you know that the focus here isn't on Joe Biden, nor is it on Kamala. It is on Democrats and Republicans because we live in a two-party system. All right.
yes.
So that's what we can talk about. And I do wholeheartedly disagree with you in regards to Joe Biden not doing a great job because Joe Biden definitely did. He was able to pass the PACT Act, which helped our veterans. He also was able to pay the American Rescue Act, which actually added millions of jobs back to the U.S. market, to the U.S. economy. Also, he was able to put the cap on insulin, and the Inflation Reduction Act, which actually helped us be the leader of the G20 nations when it came to our economic recovery. So there's that. And of course, the Chips and Science Act. We know about that. So I think Joe Biden actually did a great job. And then also at the border, he did a great job because Joe Biden was actually able to deport more undocumented immigrants from the United States than Donald Trump was in his first term.
hmm
Okay, so
yeah,
I think he
I
did his
mean,
job.
sure. I mean, yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. I saw it
It's
firsthand.
not necessarily an opinion, sir. These are things that are backed by facts.
Yeah, but if you think they were a good impact, you have every right to feel that way. I do not feel that way. I feel like he could have done better.
I would say
In
that
terms of the
you're more
border,
so having an opinion on the matter.
yeah,
All right. But when we can say that our GDP grew under Joe Biden and that more people had jobs under Joe Biden and that Joe Biden did, in fact, deport more undocumented immigrants than Donald Trump, those are objective facts. So there's that
yeah.
part.
So in terms of the immigration problem,
Uh huh.
I saw it firsthand. I didn't like.
Are you about to give us an antidote?
Yeah, I mean, I live in a sanctuary city, so this goes to sanctuary city. You know, if you live in a sanctuary city, you know what I'm talking about. Um, we had way too many migrants, free hotel rooms, resources that could be given to our citizens, people already here. Simply did not agree with that. You could agree with that. Like if you think of like, oh, yeah, we want an open border policy where
What city do you live in?
any I live in New York,
Okay, New York City.
New York City, correct.
Okay.
So if you have the belief that, yeah, like these people need safety or whatever, like millions of people, we could allow them to request asylum and they can wait inside here. If that's your belief, which that was the belief of Joe Biden's administration, you have every right to believe that. I simply
Your
am
audio
not
is weird.
Hmm?
Do you hear an echo?
I do. I don't.
Okay. Can you swipe out of the app and then come back, please?
Yeah, it's probably better.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, now I think I have an echo. That's disgusting. Okay. Oh, no. Can you go on mute for a moment? Okay. Is that no? That's not better. What is happening here? Interesting. Nope, that's not it. One moment, everyone. Okay, let's. Oh God, that is so bad. Oh, one moment. I think I know what the issue is. There we go. All right, it's fixed on my end. No more echo. Okay, you can come off mute, Daniel.
We're good.
All right, and if you disagree with the background, by all means, request up because this is not a safe space for Republicans or Donald Trump supporters. You know, the MAGAs. It isn't. All right, so mods, y'all know what to do. All right, let them know that they can request up. Don't invite them up, but they can request up. Okay. And if they don't, then you know what to do. Okay, so anywho, not a safe space for you, or you can yap outside of the club. Okay, Daniel, what were you saying?
Yeah, we were talking about the migrants. Kind of the last administration, they believed in letting them wait inside of America while their case is heard, which is typically minimum 6 months away.
Hmm.
They got hotel rooms, a bunch of resources, EBT cards, cell phones. I would see it firsthand. I know exactly where they were in New York City. I walk past it every day. I would actually talk to them. I am Latino myself, so I'm able to speak the language to a lot of them.
So
Um,
you're talking about something that would be a local issue, so a city issue, or maybe even state, but not something that's on a federal level.
no, this is federal level. When you're crossing state
Mm-mm,
lines and you're crossing a border of this nation, you are
mm-mm.
dealing with a federal issue.
No, the benefits that the undocumented immigrants received out there in New York City were provided by the city along with corporations that assisted. So
Uh,
it was not a state nor even a
not
federal
not
issue.
entirely true.
Okay, go on.
The majority of it, yes, was covered by the state and the city. My city spent 2 billion on them, but this is a federal issue. You're quite literally talking about not just crossing a border, but also crossing state lines because they did come
Yeah,
from
and who sent them
other
there?
states.
Who sent them there and
Yeah,
didn't send the money to go
yeah,
along with them to actually help? Who did that?
the Republican governors.
Oh, okay. All right. So why are you upset with your city for assisting people in the dead of winter?
That's exactly what I'm saying. So
You're
these
proving the
cities,
point that the
these
Democrats
cities,
are better for the
these
USA
cities,
because the Democrats actually care about people.
exactly, and that's where we're going to disagree. That's where we're going to disagree because
But you just literally just said exactly. I'm so
yeah,
confused.
but I don't agree with that.
I'm so
And
confused.
clearly
Fix it.
clearly majority of the voters did not agree with that as well. So
The voters in New
yes,
York
these
City?
cities.
New York City is super blue. What are you talking about?
No. The voters of America that chose the
Okay,
Republican
but you're
Party.
talking about New York City. So I need you
Yeah.
to
So in
focus
terms of
on
that,
one. I
yes,
don't know what you're
they.
focusing on right now.
So they. Well, this all interlinks. You have to understand that. So you're talking about Democrats.
You're talking
Yes,
about,
my
but you
city.
were talking about New York City. So we're trying to
So
talk about New York City, and now you're talking about Democrats and whole. I'm so confused. What are we talking about?
we are talking about the Democrats that run these sanctuary cities that allowed this to happen. Because if you're going to be out here saying, "Oh, we're a sanctuary city, we let everyone come in," yeah, you do got to put your money where your mouth is. But what I'm saying is, and what many other people here, especially New York, also say, is hold your brakes. You should not be providing these resources. If now again, if you believe in providing these resources for migrants, that's your opinion. I can't tell you you're wrong. I understand where it's not like a crazy thought. I understand. But what I'm saying is, I do not agree with that.
So you would prefer that other human beings be just simply because of where they come from, get like hypothermia and just freeze in the dead of winter. You prefer that they go hungry since they aren't able to obtain employment. Is
No, they
what
shouldn't
is
be
it
here.
that you want?
They shouldn't be here.
No. What shouldn't have happened is that Abbott shouldn't have sent them there. Is what shouldn't have happened.
They're in
Abbott
Macon,
should
Oregon.
Abbott should have used the federal funds that he received from the government to actually house these people and take care of them, and then also go over the actual asylum process with them
Do you
to
not understand?
ensure that
I
they do
understand.
things what you all say the
You
correct
understand?
way. But
You
hold on,
understand?
I'm talking.
That I don't agree with
Abbott
that.
didn't do that.
You understand? That I don't
So
agree with that.
you don't
They
agree
shouldn't
with
be here.
Abbott?
No, they
Okay,
shouldn't
so
be
so
here.
you don't believe in asylum, you don't believe in
No.
immigration at all?
Yeah, I do, of course. But you got to wait there. You can't let in 10+ million people in.
That's not what happened. You have the
That is what
number wrong,
happened.
dear. No, where do you get the where's the source that says 10 plus million people came into the United States?
I'll give
And
you a
during
source
what
right
time
now. And
frame?
this is
What time frame? What time frame, love?
in Biden's administration.
Please do tell us. Do tell us. Give us the source because I know exactly what you're talking about, but I just want you to exhibit to the class what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks. All right, guys. While he gets the source, all right, I'm going to go ahead and reset our daily gift goal. Thank you so very much. I don't know why this says pickle time. I think I got y'all excited for no reason. Let me fix that because we are not doing pickle time tonight. All right.
So as of
Hold on one moment, love. I'm talking. Trying to talk to the class right quick. All right. There we go. Okay. Here we are. I have one more thing to do, and then we'll go back to your answer here. swear I can't do anything with these nails. And these are my real nails. Like I can't do anything with them. Okay, and I have to set up the daily donation goal. I feel like, guys, by the end of the week, I'm gonna be like a super professional at this. And you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, Erica, it's such a well-run show. Like you actually can take care of yourself. I'm gonna be like, yes, I can. I'm an adult. Okay. All right, there we go. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So, guys, keep doing. Oh, thank you so much for knocking out the roses so fast. All right, let's keep doing all of the good things. Tap, tap, tap the screen, share the live within reason. You know, I don't like spam sharing. Also, guys, we do have a daily donation goal of $150. Pay links are in the bio. It's the best way to support the live because y'all know how TikTok does its creators. All right. I have a Venmo, a PayPal, and a Zelle. The Zelle is everything with Erica9@gmail.com. If you want to show love that way, I greatly appreciate all that you do. So thank you so much for the love, the support, the encouragement, and the engagement. All right. Consider it reparations or for my therapy, whichever one, because I talk to Trump supporters and Republicans every day, or people that pretend to be independents. All right. So with that being said, go ahead. What's your source? Like, where did you get this from?
Yeah, so this is from the Homeland Security. So if you go on homeland.house.gov.
What's the name of the report?
Startling stat. Look this up.
What's the name of the report?
Just September 23rd, 2024, it was released. Startling stats fact sheet. Biden and Harris border crisis still wreaking havoc. It was published on September 23rd, 2024. Homeland.house.gov.
Let's see here. Go ahead. So tell the class what it is that you know, because this doesn't make any sense. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I got a phone. I don't know what you said.
Oh, okay. I said go ahead. Tell the class what it is you know.
I mean, it's what I told you. Total nationwide encounters under the Biden and Harris administration has now exceeded 10.3 million. This is compared to 3.1 million from 2017 to 2020. And this does not include the 2 million known gotaways.
Do you know what an encounter is, love?
Yes.
Okay, what's an encounter? Demonstrate to the class what an encounter is.
An encounter is simply when you cross the border and you encounter an agent.
Okay, all right. So who also sorry, who also can cross the border? They do it literally daily. Who crosses the border daily to go back and forth to work? It starts with an M. It starts with an M. All right, ends with a T if we're talking singular, an S if we're talking plural. So who crosses the border daily to go back and forth to work?
People with visas.
Oh my God. No, I said it starts with an M. M as in Michael. Yes.
No, they have a
they are counted in encounters. Anyone who is crossing the border and they come into contact, all right, with Border and Customs Patrol, Customs and Border Patrol, my apologies, are counted as an encounter. Even Americans who cross the border are counted as encounters if they come into contact with Border Patrol. Like people who are walking that bridge down there in Laredo, Texas, to go back and forth to Mexico, they're considered encounters if they come into contact with Border Patrol. It does not matter. All right, this does not say anything about being undocumented. That's why we're using the word encounter, though.
These are people requesting asylum.
Sir, no, it's not. Where does it say that at?
If you cross the border,
where does it say that at, though?
So if you cross the border, you're an encounter?
Yes, if you cross the border, if you come into contact, with Border Patrol, you are considered an encounter, regardless of your status. Now, I want you to tell us in this report, where does it says undocumented, or as you so ineloquently put it, illegal?
So
tell us. Please don't ask me another question. Just to be clear, answer the question.
You're incorrect because every day 400,000 people, more than 400,000 people cross the border.
Where'd you get that number from?
This is right here. See, when you look this up, it's hard because people think that you want to know about the illegal migrants, but you have to look up how many people cross legally the border because you can legally cross, right? You show your papers or whatever, and you can cross. Let's see, how many people cross today?
Sir, where in your fact sheet here, in your startling stats fact sheet that you provided us as a source, where does it say undocumented? Where does it say it? I'm going to tell you that it doesn't. But if I'm not seeing things, because sometimes I can't see without my with my glasses, I can't see with my glasses sometimes. Tell us where, please. I beg.
Okay, this is literally talking about migrant asylum seekers. It says it right here. Look at the report I sent you, the September 23rd, 2024. You can't say that encounters is what they're looking at. Obviously, people cross every day. If I cross every day, I'm not going to be listed as an encounter. I'm just a person crossing legally.
Sir, every time you come into contact with Border Patrol, you're considered an encounter. Yes, it is.
This is not true.
Then show us differently. Where is their definition of an encounter?
So you think
this is their jargon? Where is their definition of encounter?
They're going to study? Well, they have definitely a study account of people crossing legally. This does not go to an issue for them, of course, because this is people that are crossing legally. That's not an encounter. If you cross, you're not an encounter. You're just a person crossing. What this is the Border Patrol saying we have encountered people claiming asylum. And the people that we saw cross that did not come to us to claim asylum, there are the gotaways, which is more than 2 million people that got away, which means they didn't come in contact with the agent. Now, if you came in contact with the agent saying, hey, I'm here to claim asylum, me and my family are here to claim asylum, what they would do is, under Biden, they'll be like, okay, perfect, just come here. We have a facility right here. We have a facility right here. And then at one point, the governors of those states said, there are these things called sanctuary cities. Do you want to go to New York?
Talking about those.
You want to go to Chicago? Exactly.
You keep saying that. That doesn't mean anything.
Because that was the process under Biden that I simply do not agree with. It's very simple. You agree with that. You're a humanitarian. You want to give people help that come from shittier countries. Sorry to say.
No, because migrants are considered encounters. Tis all.
Of course they're.
Okay, then. So what are you saying?
That's what I'm telling you.
If migrants legally can be here, right? And so what is your point of saying all of this if we know that they come? So you're saying that migrants, people who come here to work who have ITINs shouldn't be here?
That's
is that
not
what
a migrant.
You're saying?
That's not a migrant.
Oh my!
They're not claiming asylum. They're not claiming asylum. What are you talking about?
Do you know what a migrant is?
Okay, well, I'm talking about asylum seekers.
You are so off base. No,
because
because the stat that you're reading, you don't understand what it is that you're reading. We're talking about encounters. No, they're not just talking about asylum seekers. You are ridiculous because they're not just talking about that. You can't project what it is that you think onto these numbers. That's just not how numbers work. Numbers are factual, all right? And these numbers are talking about encounters in total. These numbers include migrants. Like you're not making any sense, Daniel. You're just not. So Daniel,
you're
I need you to go back. I need you to go back and rethink this argument that you have here. All right. Just rethink it and then come back. Okay. Because my God, today you're not doing a good job. So I'm going to put you on mute. Let's see who else we have here. Because that is insanity. You're trying to change the definition of encounter. You're trying to say that migrants aren't included when they clearly are included. It does not make any sense. And in nowhere in that study does it say anything about asylum seekers or undocumented immigrants. It says absolutely nothing to that fact. So, sir, please just rethink it and then come back. Hi, Dana, it is? Is it Dana?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great.
Glad to hear it. Are you a Republican or did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I voted for him 3 times.
That is so unfortunate. Why would you do that?
Well, I think he's the greatest thing for America.
Okay, so how do you think that Donald Trump is better for America?
Promises kept, promises made.
Promises kept, promises made. I feel like I'm going to be echoing you in a lot because I feel like you're going to say a lot of shit that I'm just going to be like, what? So there's that.
You probably will.
Okay. All right. If you don't mind, you have a slight echo. Can you exit out of it, swipe out of the app and then come back? So act like you're checking a text message, then come back. Phil, no. Aw, man, come back, Dana. Dana, come back. Because Daniel is still rethinking his position because Daniel's just absolutely wrong. All right, but shout out to my boy Phil for the $2. Phil said, why do so many MAGA just not understand words and definitions? Because they feel like, words are made up, so they just can make up the definition. The descriptive doesn't matter to them. They could just make it up. So that is why. All right, that is why. Thank you, Ren. All right, so guys, show some love to Phil in the chat. Drop those hearts for Phil. We're now 1-4. You have a really bad echo. Like, hold on, Dana, hold on one moment. Okay, guys, we're now $148 to our nightly donation goal. If you want to show support, pay links are in the bio. I have a Venmo, a PayPal, and a Zelle. The Zelle is everythingwitherica9@gmail.com. I appreciate all the support here. Let's keep doing all of the good things. Tap, tap, tap in the screen, sharing the live within reason. All right, and knocking out these gift goals. It looks like we have 70 tiny dinies to go. I know we can go ahead and knock those out easily. I just realized I talk a lot with my hands. I'm going to have to sit on them. Okay. So, Dana, are you on Bluetooth?
Oh, ma'am.
You're not? Oh, that's better. And now you don't have an echo. You turned your no, wait. God, I still hear it. Okay, whatever. Okay, so Dana, you said you voted for Donald Trump. Promises made, promises kept. All right.
Ma'am.
Okay, so what promises has Donald Trump kept that actually have benefited you?
Well, we can start with a whole bunch, but I guess I don't really focus on Trump. I would rather focus on your background and what you say Democrats are better for the USA.
Sure.
Because you say you didn't want to focus on Joe Biden or a specific individual.
Well, Trump is a Republican, so that's why.
Yeah,
and he's a part of the party, so that's cool.
No,
so go ahead.
You're absolutely right. Trump also was a Democrat before he was a Republican.
Sure. And water is wet.
Like,
what's your point?
He
was never elected as a Democratic candidate.
Okay. Well, my point is the Democrat Party has never been good for America.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, they started the KKK, for example.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you said that. Go ahead.
That's enough for me. Not to mention they were against.
Also say triple K. You can't say the 3 letters. Just say triple K.
All right, triple K.
Yes, thanks.
I'm not TikTok.
I'm sure you're not. Go ahead.
No, I'm not. Yeah, but the Democrat Party is just terrible. I mean, I think that Democrats are absolutely evil. You have to be evil to vote Democrat. You can't be Christian, and you can't be American.
Mm-hmm.
Who would allow undocumented people to come into the country and suck up all of its resources?
Bruh. I need this right here.
Bruh.
Go ahead. Keep going. Yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
So I know I thought that your background was pretty crazy and outrageous. I mean, pretty outlandish.
Keep going.
Yeah. Democrats, right? They believe in unaliving babies in the name of.
Oh, you all over the place. You all over the map.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Okay, so so we can keep some order here. Hold on one moment. Your echo is so bad on my end. And I know the chat doesn't hear echo, but I do. All right, so let's lock in, all right, on one thing. Okay, let's talk about the first thing that you said, that the Democrats started the triple K. Yeah. Y'all hear the echo too? Okay. Okay, you have a really bad echo. Are you using a microphone? Like, what are you doing? Why is your echo? Swipe out. Don't leave the app. Swipe out of the app like you were checking a text message and then come back.
Okay, how's that?
Okay, let's see. Okay, say something.
Something loud.
There you go. There you go. That's so much better. Oh, I forgot that my backup was here. I be forgetting stuff. Okay, all righty. One thing before we start. Corey, where'd you send that at? Was that Venmo? Corey, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna read this too. Corey said, this Negro is a clown. This Negro is tired, but wanted to do a good thing. He talking about himself on that last one. He calling you a clown, and he said that he tired, but he wanted to do a good thing. Thank you so much, Corey. I appreciate you and all the good things. You're the best. All right, guys, I'm doing math. We're now at $98 to go. We're $88 to go. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Drop all the hearts in the chat for Corey. Pay links are in the bio. Everything with Erica is the name on Venmo. I also have a Zelle, which is everything with Erica9@gmail.com, and a PayPal. So thank you so much. The echo is back,
Oh my God.
but it's not you. I don't think. I think it's me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, tell Corey if you'd like to come with anything besides an ad hominem attack. That'd be more election.
By the way, so this comes
Daniel.
from this comes from the Office of Homeland Security Statistics.
Daniel, you are just interrupting Dana. That's not nice. Don't do that.
No,
Wait a moment.
He's a former American. If he would like to speak, I'll wait my turn.
Of course, you let the white man go.
Nothing to do with that. But so the CBP labels any encounter as the following: people who unlawfully cross the border between ports of entry, people who entered at a port of entry but are inadmissible, people expelled under the Title 42 public health order between March 2020 and May 2023 due to COVID-19. Now, these numbers are significantly higher under Biden's years. Nationwide, actually, let's look at the southwest border. So we're talking about so imagine nationwide a little higher,
Where are you getting this from?
This is from the Office of Homeland Security Statistics. Okay, so I explained to you what they view as an encounter.
Sir, excuse me, sir. I'm gonna need you to fix your tone. You're a little amped up.
Sure.
You got too much bass in your voice. I need you to calm it down.
So do you want to take the middle of pick a year out of Trump's first presidency? Pick any year.
2017.
2017? Sure. Okay. On the southwest border, total encounters in 2017 were recorded at 415,000 encounters, 415,200 encounters to be exact. Now pick any year from Joe Biden's presidency.
Let's go with 2024.
2024,
yes.
One of the lowest ones, but we're looking at 2.135 million encounters. Do you see the
2.15 million encounters in the year of 2024 alone?
Correct. Yes.
All right, and you're still not giving up the fact that encounters include migrants.
No, I just told you what they label an encounter.
They do not.
Three things: people who lawfully, you could look this up yourself. People who unlawfully cross the border between ports of entry. People who entered at a port of entry.
An encounter can include the same person multiple times a day. So if I cross the border
just
five times, you didn't explain that it was only counted one time, because that's not true. If I, darn gone, cross the border 5 times in one day, guess what ends up happening? And I come into contact with Border Patrol, that's an encounter.
No,
you can count the same person. No, you did not.
The numbers.
No, you did not. Your definition that you just used does not include anything about the individual person.
What?
So there's
this
not.
Is coming from them.
It literally it does not say.
Do you want to look it up yourself?
I don't trust it either, Drea. I don't trust it either.
Maybe you should look it up and look into this yourself, because the numbers I just read to you are one of 3 things. People who unlawfully cross the border between ports of entry. 1. 2, people who entered at a port of entry but are inadmissible. And 3, people expelled under Title 42. That is what an encounter is. Not people crossing for vacation, not people crossing for work because they're allowed to. No, it's the 3 things I just explained. So those numbers are one of those 3 people. Do you understand that?
Do you know what a migrant is? Because I'm tired of having this, because migrants are included, and I don't know any other way to tell you. Migrants are included within that number. Multiple instances of encountering the same person are included in there. What is your point, Daniel?
Yeah, the people claiming asylum are included in that. Because
what is your point?
That when they cross,
Daniel, what is your point?
When they cross,
Daniel, you're not okay. Daniel, here's the deal. You're not understanding. Okay. All right, Dana. Shh. This is what you need to understand. All right. There's a few different points here. Okay. The encounter numbers include however many encounters per day of the same person. So if, again, I say to you, if a person crosses 5 times in one day and they come into contact with Border Patrol 5 times in that day, guess what? They're counted. If that happens over the course of 30 days, 5 times, do the math. That's 600 times that person is counted as an encounter.
Do you want me to say what the numbers represent again? I don't think you're
we already
understanding
know.
something.
We know what the numbers represent. That
Why
is
are you
not
trying
the
to change
point.
their definition?
I'm not changing the
The numbers
definition.
I
What
just
I'm
gave you,
saying
this
is that
coming from
if
them.
they encounter the same person, that person isn't. If you come into contact with Border Patrol at the southwest border or the northwest,
You just want to live
the
in your own
northern border.
definition. I just
No,
gave you
I
their
don't want to live in
definition.
my I'm giving you
look
the
it up.
correct information.
Am I going to trust the CBP
You
or you?
are not. You don't understand
want me to trust
context
you?
nor nuance.
You want me to trust
Is what
you?
you don't understand.
So you bring up
Daniel.
a source because I
So
gave you a
here
source.
we say that it does. Okay, let's bring up a source.
Yeah, bring up a source because
Okay,
I'm telling
Daniel.
you right now.
Okay,
the
Daniel.
CBP is telling me.
I'm not going to keep trying to bring up a source while you keep talking, so I want you to be quiet. Thanks. Appreciate you. All
CBP
right.
website.
There we go. Somebody put a muzzle on that dog. Thanks. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. And here we go.
Share with the class.
I am sharing with the class. All right. So
Where's this from?
Where's
this from?
Hold on. I'm getting it for you. I'm verifying this source before I even give it to you because I don't want to use anything that isn't a government source for you.
Why don't you just look at what the CBP tells you about it? They're the ones that literally tell you the number.
There we go. Okay, so this is from March 15th of 2025, and this is the Department of Homeland Security. Hold on one moment. All right. Here we go.
I know that look. It's when you're reading
Here.
something you don't want to read.
No, this
We've
is
all
me
been there.
looking for, I'm searching for the word multiple to make sure that I give it to you because this is from a report that was published in 2022. It's the Department of Homeland Security Border Security Metrics Report in 2022 because we're not going off of the actual metrics. We're looking for multiple. So that's what we're looking for.
What?
Does that make sense? Does that make,
What?
sir? You said that
you're
you
lost,
want
sweetie.
to know,
Nah.
want to know, don't you dare call me sweetie either. You said you want to know if individuals are counted as multiples, right? In the same day. All right.
Yeah,
If a
there
person
probably
can be
is
counted twice. What? Go ahead, finish your sentence.
Yes. For let's say I cross into Mexico for the evening, like I walk across and I'm allowed to do it. Yeah, I'm probably counted in something, but I am not counted
Oh
as an
my
encounter.
God, literally, yes, you are counted
No,
as an encounter.
I
Yes,
just
you
told you
are.
what they
I
labeled these
literally, you know what,
encounters.
Daniel, shush up. Just shush. Stop
Something
it.
to the table, except I don't
I
know when
already brought
you
it to
wanna
the
bring your
table.
own
You
definition.
literally just proved my point.
No, you
Every
didn't.
time you cross, you are counted as an encounter.
And
If you
these
are
numbers,
expelled from the
you.
United States in January and you come back in February, you're counted again. It happens all the time.
So
You
the
come back in March, you're counted again.
So
if
those numbers
on
I gave you,
Monday,
what were they?
I cross the border,
Let's break it down.
All right, in the morning at 8 a.m. and I come back across the border at
You would
6
not be in these
p.m.
numbers
and
that I gave you.
yes, you would.
No, because you're not a
Yes,
person.
you would.
You're not a person of three things: people who unlawfully cross the border between ports of entry, people
Okay,
who
Daniel.
entered at
All
a
right,
port of
Daniel.
entry.
Okay,
for another
Daniel,
reason,
you're right. Okay,
and people
Daniel,
expelled under
Daniel,
Title
you're
14.
right. You're
That
okay,
doesn't
Daniel.
include you.
Okay, Daniel, you're right. So with that
So the
being
numbers I
said,
gave you
I have
are
a
those
question
three
for you.
things.
I have a question for
What is
you,
your
Daniel.
question?
My question for you is, why do you hate immigrants, Daniel?
I don't hate immigrants. My parents are
I-
immigrants.
Your parent? Oh, so you're a ladder puller. That is wow. Why
Not
are you a ladder
necessarily.
puller?
Not necessarily.
Okay, why are you a door shutter then? Why do you want to shut the door on other
Again,
immigrants?
Again, when
Tell
my
no,
parents
can you
came,
tell us?
when my parents came in the 90s,
Yeah, no one gives a fuck. All right, tap, tap, tap the screen, guys, and drop those hearts for Drea. Drop those hearts for Drea. All right. I mean, good grief. I don't understand. How are your parents immigrants and you're first generation, and yet you have such a disdain for immigrants coming here for the same opportunity? Dana, real quick, can you make that make sense?
Absolutely.
Why?
The people that have come here, right? That come here legally. Some of them take up to 10 to 15 years to get into this country. You got people that just jump the line and come in.
How are they jumping the
undocumented.
line?
They're coming into the country using asylum seekers as a plot to get in. Like, they're not actually doing it the actual legal way. Like, they're just jumping right in. Like, I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on in your neighborhoods, but I live in a small town in the middle of the map. And for example, I was at the Walmart in the hood, right? And when I go in there,
why'd you say it like that?
because that's what it is.
Well, why'd you say it like in the hood? What is that?
I gotta put,
What is the hood, anyways?
The hood is the ghetto, where a bunch of
The
black folks
ghetto?
stay. Yes,
How
ma'am.
much do you hate yourself?
I don't at all. I live a pretty damn good life.
Are
Actually,
you sure? I mean, you having material
positive.
things doesn't mean that you love yourself. So, like, how much do you hate yourself?
It's not even about material things. Like,
Are you sure? Because you said I
kids.
live a pretty good life, and like
I do.
you
I live a pretty good life.
are literally up here spouting off, even though you may not recognize it, you're spouting off anti-blackness right now. The hood and the ghetto.
How's that anti-black? I'll be honest with you.
Calling the neighborhoods.
There's no such. Let's be honest, Miss. There's no such thing as black or white. Those are identity politics.
We're not doing that. Are you telling us that race isn't a thing now? Even though it's a social contract that we made up, I'm gonna say construct. It was a social contract that we agreed to.
So,
oh my God!
There's no such thing as a white person. There's Polish, Irish, German. Right? We're the only one that don't actually have an identity. We went from colored to
why don't we have an identity?
To African American.
Why don't we have an identity?
Because we're too busy following tropes versus realizing who we are.
Oh, it wasn't because we were stripped from our homeland. It wasn't because we were stripped.
This is our home.
This is not our home. Oh my God.
This is our home.
Are you one of those people?
Do
you believe that Black people actually come from this land here? That like African Americans come from this land here.
We're the only
what's known as the United States.
We're the only country.
We descended from here.
I'm sorry. We're the only country where there's melanated people that identify as Black. You go anywhere else in the world, any Dominican country, any Spanish country, you're going to find highly melanated people, right?
This is insanity.
That it's not insanity. It's actually facts. Like,
and they're known as
you go
Afro.
anywhere. They're not Afro. They identify with their. They identify with their. They identify with their homeland, ma'am. Everybody does.
They identify with their homeland.
So
if we say African American, are we not identifying with our homeland if we say African American?
We're not African American.
African
American was a term that was created by Jesse Jackson.
What are we?
We're indigenous, aboriginals. We originate.
Oh God, not one of these people. I'm not doing this.
Hold on, wait. So you're saying Malcolm X? So you're saying Malcolm X was a false?
Nope, not
doing Malcolm X was a fallacy?
Malcolm X didn't say that. Malcolm X did not say that. No, he didn't.
Yes.
No, I refuse to believe you. No.
Okay.
That is so. Why are you like this?
You can refuse to believe me, right?
What's that guy's name? Hold on, Dana. Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
You used to go by another name on this app?
Absolutely not. I had never been live before until I got on with you.
You a damn lie. That's a lie. What was that guy's name?
Why would I lie to you?
Bruh.
Look
Do
at
you-
my look at
okay,
my photo.
So, no, here's the deal.
Look at my
you
photo.
say you're lying. You're lying. Your
Look
voice,
at my
I remember you.
profile.
Yes, a pretendian.
don't
That's
remember
exactly
me.
what you are. You're a pretendian. That's absolutely insanity.
A
Okay.
pretendian,
Yes, a
maybe
pretendian.
Indian, not
All
a
right,
pretendian.
you're-
I don't have
oh
to
my
pretend,
God,
man.
I know who you are. Why can I think of the name? Which is so crazy
Think of
because
it.
I said earlier that I had not seen that guy on lives in so long. But you used to be like
So
on
you said
lives
I'm a
and then
farce.
trails. You are definitely a farce,
Oh,
sir.
what?
You're definitely a
On
farce.
what? What is
You're
live in
definitely a farce.
Trentails? That sounds like
Dentra-
some ghetto crap that I
Dentrell.
wouldn't even know.
Oh God, you are
Dentrell.
so
No.
full of it. You are
Absolutely
so full
not.
of it.
Let's get to the
Anywho,
topic, please, if you might.
the topic is that you're saying that black people are
There's no such thing as a black person.
Yeah, black people. Yeah, we exist. Hi, black person here. All right. Do you understand
Identity politics.
why it's not identity politics? What's identity politics is Donald Trump making brown people the boogeyman. That's identity politics. What's identity
That's why
politics is Donald Trump making you all hate the disabled, hate the poor. That's identity politics.
I don't
All
hate
right.
the poor. I just there's a place for
you
poor
do.
people, middle class, and rich. No, I don't. I used to be poor. I grew up poor. I do not hate the poor.
Not to do this,
But I believe that we need poor people to exist. It's insane that like you would actually sit here and say that I'm somebody that I'm not. And you've never even met me before. This is the first time we ever spoken in life.
Yeah, I just don't believe
And you're
you.
accusing me for being somebody. You don't. have to.
I may be the
You would
first
believe
time I
anything I
spoke
say.
to you, but this isn't your first time on a TikTok live. I know that for a fact.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
It
not.
is.
No, it's not. You can tell that
Why would
lie.
I?
You can tell
Look-
that lie
look
all
at-
you want to.
Tell your comments to go to my profile. I don't do TikTok.
Okay, you can. Hey, Mutang, you can tell that lie all you want to. Anywho,
Okay. Anywho,
that would be
yeah.
identity politics. Donald Trump saying that immigrants are poisoning
Why
the
are we
blood
speaking
of
of
this
Donald
country.
Trump?
Because
We're
Donald
talking
Trump
about
is a
Republicans and
Republican,
Democrats.
and you mentioned identity politics. So what I
Yes,
am
ma'am.
doing
I
is
didn't
giving
mention
you
Trump.
examples of identity politics. And
Give
who
me an
said
example
them.
without mentioning somebody. Give me
Okay,
an
so
example.
when he
Like I
said
just
that it's
did.
when a Republican said that it's in their genes to be unalivers, that would be identity politics.
It's in whose genes to be unalive.
When he was speaking, when this person was speaking, the Republican was speaking about immigrants.
he
he
said
said
it's in
that.
their genes to be unalivers. No,
Yes.
it's American. It's in American dreams. I mean, in American genes. It's not in immigrants' genes to be unalivers.
I
That's
agree
just-
with you. I agree with you, but that's not
Americans.
what the Republican said.
And particularly women.
The Republican said that it was in their genes. That's what he said. So
It may be.
it sounds like the Republicans are the ones that are playing identity politics.
Absolutely not. Democrats play identity politics. They do it with
How?
your sexuality. They do it with your gender. They do it with your color or your race, as you would say. Like,
Because they
it's-
want people to actually have equal rights and equity. They're playing identity politics. Are they making
equal
people? They're not
rights were
making
given to us by God. Like that's not
equal
something that a
rights
man
were
can
given
give
to us by God. What are you even
Yes.
talking about right now?
Was equal rights not given to us by God?
Did the slaves have equal rights? Because I'm pretty sure God existed.
Every
during the
race, every
1400s
race, and
onward.
every
What the hell are you talking about?
race
You can't be a serious
culture
person.
identity has been enslaved in this world.
That is not true. Not every race,
That is
culture, and
true.
identity has been enslaved in this world.
Everybody
All right,
has
and
been
also there
enslaved.
is a stark differentiation between during slavery, which the Slavs encountered, and
That's
chattel
that-
slavery, which was unique to the Americas. All right, so there's a complete difference there.
That's something that you learned in your indoctrination.
Oh wow,
education.
indoctrination.
Yes, you
Is
would.
that the word of
Yes.
the day for you?
No.
All right,
it's
can you
absolutely
actually
not the word of
counter the
day.
point? Can you counter it?
Can I counter the point? Yes.
Yeah, because I want to
So,
know what equal rights
can
that
absolutely counter
slaves
the point.
have. I want to know what
Come on in,
equal
baby.
rights that slaves have.
Please do. Are you?
What equal rights slaves had?
Yes.
I'm
They-
leaving.
They had the right to not be not to be enslaved. Slavery was a choice.
You
like Kanye
can't be a
said.
real person. I'm convinced you're a troll.
How can I be a
There's
troll
no
when
way.
I'm
There's
on
no
your
way.
live?
There's no
So
way
I got on your live to
that
troll
a
you.
black man
Can you
thinks
counter that?
that slaves just had the ability to not be slaves.
There's no way that a
How?
black woman would believe. There's no way
How?
that a so-called. Let me
How?
hold on. There's no.
How?
If I may,
I ask
if
you
I may,
how.
ma'am.
No,
I
you
may.
may not. You need to answer this question. How were slaves?
How can
able
you
to
say I
not
may
just
not,
be
but I need to
slaves?
answer the question?
You need to
contradicting
answer that.
yourself.
No. You're about to ask me a question.
No,
Don't
I
ask
wasn't
me a
about to ask you a
question.
question.
Answer the question.
I'm trying to, if you allow me
I'm
to now.
listening.
Thank you. I'm glad you're ready to listen.
Don't push
Slavery
your
was a
luck.
choice. You are.
Slavery was
Absolutely.
a choice.
Yes. If I may finish,
Y'all,
without
this
you
person
interjection.
can't be. This person can't be serious. You can't.
I
You aren't
am
a real. You're not a real person. Anywho, guys, tap the screen. Show TikTok that you want to be here. Let's go ahead and knock out the tiny dinies. All right. Did I do the math right on that? I did do the math right. So let's go ahead and knock out the tiny dinies. We have 47 of them left. Also, let's keep tapping the screen. I know that we have a bit of a peculiar person on the panel right now, and you want to be, sending comments and whatnot, be up in the chat. I totally get it, because if I were you, I would too. But I need you to show TikTok that you want to be here. So please keep tapping the screen, sharing the live, doing all the good things. And what? Also, guys, we're still $88 to our daily donation goal. I'm definitely going to be using that towards therapy after this one. Pay links are in the bio. Everything with Erica on Venmo. I also have a PayPal and a Zelle. Zelle is everythingwitherica9@gmail.com. I appreciate you all so much for being here, because what are we even doing right now? Y'all, like, what is happening? What is happening? These are moments where, you know what? I misran. So what is happening right now? This guy's crazy. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, Dana, come off mute and please demonstrate to the class what it is, that how slavery was a choice, love. Please tell us.
You believe that all black, I'm not even going to ask you that. There's no way in hell.
I said don't ask me a question.
That's why I said I'm not going to ask you that. I'm making the statement. There's no way in hell that black folks allow immigrants, Europeans, to come into our land and enslave all of us. Slavery is a farce, and it was a choice. Indentured servitude. Let's be honest. Anybody that works a job and pay taxes are still a slave. You're being pinned.
You just literally went way right with that. What you just
left.
said, no, you went way right. You know why?
You're right,
because on
right.
the left, that shit would have been absolutely incorrect. All right, that's wrong. Excuse my English. All right, here's the deal. All right, slavery was not a choice. These people were hunted down and captured. All right, and then subjugated, I should say, to a life of servitude. Their children were born into slavery. They did not have any rights. They did not even have the rights to their body.
Show me
so they
a
did not even
slave
have
ship in the African Americanism. Show me a slave
We have
ship.
the flotilla. We have the flotilla.
There's no slave
off the
ships.
shore off of Durango, Alabama, that was
There's
found the
no
last slave
ships.
ship to actually come here to the United States of America. We have proof, physical evidence of that ship, because it was found
where's
a
the ship
few
at?
years ago.
Where's it at?
It is
what
down.
museum?
Lord Jesus Christ. Let me give it to you right.
You got one ship.
Oh,
and slavery was
boy, please
all
be
around
quiet.
America.
Now it's just one ship. At first it was there's no ships. Now it's just
but
one
boy.
ship. Okay, great. All right, the Clotilda. All right. Okay, let's see
stick
here.
To the topic.
No, we are sticking to the topic. Okay. All right. You need to stop. Seriously,
Democrats
this
were for
doesn't make
slavery.
any sense. This
Democrats
makes absolutely
were
no
for
sense. No,
slavery.
you're trying to pivot. You're gonna do one thing at a time.
No, I'm sticking to the
Calm
topic.
it down. No, you're not. Hush, child, because this is absolutely insanity. Absolutely just insanity. All right. So the Clotilda, all right, it was placed on the National Registry of Historic Places in 2021, because that's when it was discovered.
By who? A white man. Go ahead.
Does it matter? What? I'm not addressing that. Anywho, I like to stick to facts because you're absolutely ridiculous. All right. And it's just north of downtown Mobile, Alabama. All right. It was found in the Mobile River. Okay. That's where it was found. They actually have records. They actually have records of this ship docking, all right, in Mobile, Alabama. Okay. They have records of this. This is proof. This is real life history. Okay. This isn't something, all right, that was fan fiction that was made up. They have real life history. Okay. Tangible history that you can put your hands on. That this ship existed
His
and does
story.
exist.
Somebody told the story. His story.
literally can put on some scuba diving gear if you want to, all right, and go to the bottom of the Mobile River and you will see the ship. There's actually a
Why would I have to
documentary.
put on scuba
There's a
diving equipment to go to the bottom if it was docked?
Because
Which one was it?
sank.
Was it docked or was it the bottom?
It sank. Do you know how ships work?
You said it was the
sometimes?
dock.
Do you know how they had to dock in order to get there, right? And then they actually sunk the ship to actually remove the evidence, because at the time that they transported these slaves from Africa, slavery was actually illegal here in the United States. We were no longer importing slaves. Okay, I just need you to read a fucking book. Okay, I just need you to read. I just need you to read a book.
I got
Just
plenty of
read a
books.
book, please. We beg. This is really absolutely
Let's
insanity.
go back to the
me.
topic about Democrats
No,
being
we,
better for the USA.
We're gonna no. Mm-mm. We can go back to that. We can go back to that because you keep mentioning the Triple K. Tell us. Oh, let me stop that. Tell us. Okay,
stop that.
here's the deal.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't tell us who actually founded the Triple K. You can't.
The Democrat Party.
It was
I
not
told you.
the Democratic Party.
I can tell you who founded the
Alright?
Republican Party.
Do you understand what ideology
founded the
is? What
Republican
people
Party?
believe? Do you understand that?
Who founded the Republican Party?
Shout out to Trisha for the $8. Says she said, I don't like the number you have now. I know. Even numbers, babes. Even numbers. I know. All right. Well, whole numbers. Thank you so much, Trisha. $80. $80 to go. Thank you so much, Trisha. Drop some hearts in the chat for Trisha, guys. Tap, tap, tap. Yay. Okay. I'm sorry. What were you asking?
Who founded the Republican Party?
I don't know. Tell us.
I'm glad
Tell
you
us.
asked. 100 black men and 3 whites. Yeah, you didn't want to hear that. Are you looking? You doing your tap? I hear you tapping.
Yeah,
tap,
you can hear me
tap.
tapping. I
Tap,
love to hear
tap,
that.
tap.
I
Look that up.
love to hear that. Because where'd you get that from? Thank you so much for the galaxy. You are a troll. Like you are just you. Oh my
I just
God,
completely agree with you. I
really
completely
a
disagree with
troll.
you.
You are
I
a
might be.
troll.
I might be.
You are absolutely a troll. You can't be a real human being. I refuse to believe you.
So you saying I'm not a human being now? Now
No,
I'm not
you
human.
can't. You probably be AI or something. Like change up
I'm
your
AI.
something. I don't know. You can't be real. You say that slavery is a choice. Then you deny that slave ships actually existed. Like, have you ever been? No, hold on. Have you ever been to the National African American History Museum in DC?
I'm not an African American. Why would I go to an African American museum?
White people go all the time.
There's no such thing as a white or a black person.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Politics.
Yeah,
We talked
okay.
about that.
No. Just because you said
We
that
all
make it true,
Americans.
dear. Just because you
We
said
all
that make it
Americans.
true. Anywho,
You American and I
if you
am
go
too.
to that museum, if you go to
I
that
never will.
museum, you actually will see the hull of a ship. And again, tangible proof that these things existed. So you're saying that slavery was a choice. You think
So are you
people would
African American?
choose? You think people would choose? Yes, I am African American, and guess what? I choose to go by black. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black, black, y'all.
It's a
That's
choice.
what I am.
You're melanated. You're not black. Queen.
I am black. All right,
You're
and I'm
melanated, that's
okay
it.
with it. I'm black and I'm proud.
Highly carbonated.
I'm black and I'm proud. My people come from Western Africa. That's where my people come from. All right.
My people come from America.
Your
Which
people
one of
don't
your
come
parents was
from
born
America.
in Western Africa?
Oh
Your
my
mom,
gosh!
your
Oh,
dad,
so
your
you don't
grandma, your
believe in
grandchief.
you don't believe in lineage? So it just starts with your grandparents? Is that what it is?
Lineage that you got from an ancestry.
Does it just start with your grandparents? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that makes absolutely no sense. Did your family bloodline
I
not
wouldn't try to
exist
say that.
prior to
No, I'm
your
asking you.
grandparents?
You said your lineage comes from West Africa. So who in your
Yes.
family is from where? That's Africa.
The people
I'm
who
asking
came
you.
over here
You can't
in the
say
early
the people.
1800s is who?
Okay. What's her name?
Is who? Because my ex.
You're making it up.
I'm not making it up. My ex's uncle is into genealogy, and he was able to track my family on my grandmother's side, so on the maternal side, all the way
I can
back
see why
to
he's your ex.
1837. All right. You can try to do the misogynoir with me, but baby, I'm super secure. So, leave it for you and whoever that woman is over there. All right.
There
Miss me
isn't
with
one.
that. Miss me with that.
There
Or the
isn't one.
boyfriend that you got over there. However you want to do it, whatever it is you like, that's on you. All right. Now, with
I'm not
that
a
being
Democrat.
said,
I wouldn't have a boyfriend.
all right, try that elsewhere, but you're not gonna try it here.
I'm not a
Anywho,
Democrat.
going on, moving on. As I was saying,
Yes, ma'am.
all right, we have concrete proof in my family that these people were enslaved. And we also have concrete proof that these people were not born here in the United States. So
So your
there's
family
that
wasn't
part.
born here in the United States. Your family was, has
And for
slavery
you to
ancestry.
think as a black person that you some way somehow
How do you know I'm
come
black?
from,
How do you know I'm
boy,
black?
bye, some way somehow, because you've been saying it all night, and then you're damn pretending. You're pretending. You're annoying also. But there's that part.
You're still talking to me though. I must be somewhat interesting.
Here.
You could have kicked me off.
You're right. I could have. Hey, Zena. Okay, and let's see. I don't think this person is gonna load. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't friendlies. If you're a friendly, please drop out of the request. If you are a friendly, drop out of the request. We're looking for people who disagree only. I appreciate y'all.
I still disagree, and I still like to tell you why I disagree. But go ahead.
Hi,
I'll let the next person
Flint.
speak.
I really can't see with my glasses on. Flint, did you vote for Donald Trump, or do you identify as a Republican?
I did vote for Donald Trump.
You did? Okay. All right. Wonderful. Okay. So let's see here. All right. I'll be right with you. Okay, Flint? All right. I'm going to place you on mute for just a moment. Okay. So what is it? Dana. Dana, you have to tell us, like, because you never got into it. And I'm actually kind of stuck on it. All right.
Okay.
Tell us how was slavery a choice?
Slavery was a
How was it a
being
choice?
slave. Okay, so you had to, they say, who's that nigga on that nag?
Drop some hearts in the chat for Sky for using her monthly kit. Drop some hearts in the chat for Sky. All right, I just want to see hearts. My God. My goodness. That was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm finished.
Now, Flint, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the chat. So please go back on mute. That was a lot. We just need to decompress for a moment, guys. Take a moment to breathe in and out. Just in and out. Because what was that? That was absolutely a lot. I refuse to believe that that was a real person. I refuse. Just not even going to believe it for a second. Slavery was a choice. Slavery was absolutely not a choice. Why would anyone choose to be great? Why would anyone choose, all right, to have their child, their baby, their newborn stripped away from them? Why would anyone choose that? Make it make sense. No one would choose that. Why would anyone choose a life of bondage? Why would anyone choose to serve others while neglecting their family? Think about that. Think about that. No one is going to choose that. No one. He was absolutely midnight. He was definitely a troll. Definitely a troll. Who child? All right, guys. So I think I breathe in, I breathe out. All right, here we are. Okay, let's keep doing all of the good things, guys. We are at 60,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get this up to 125,000 likes by tapping that screen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and reset the daily goal here. I think we'll do something fun. Let me see. What can we do that is fun? I like those cats, so I'm going to go ahead and do the cats. All right, there we go. And then we'll go on to something else, I guess. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm still decompressing, guys. I think I need to do some acoustic karaoke. I don't know. That shit was wild. Also, guys, we're still $80 to go. Pay links are in the bio. Thank you so much for the love, the support, the encouragement, and the engagement. I appreciate y'all so much. We're gonna get into this conversation with Flint, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see. All right. So, with that being said, Flint, go ahead and unmute yourself.
What's going on?
Mandarin. Do you disagree with the background?
I do.
Okay. All right. Why do you disagree with the background?
Kind of going based off the radical ideologies you guys push.
Radical ideologies? What radical ideologies? Because if you were to go overseas, let's say to Europe, you would see that our Democrats are more center. They're center right. They're not extreme at all, but go on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over here, but yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. I think it just happened recently. Like the Boston mayor hosted a party and put a sign out saying no whites, only colored, which to me is really weird and very radical, something a very far leftist would do. And a lot of people on the left would agree with. Do you agree with that?
I have no idea what you're even talking about. What
Well,
is this?
You can search it up. The Boston mayor, I don't know her name. She's Asian though, so I mean, you can search it up. And you know what's funny? She left her husband in, which was white.
What does this guy do with the price of tea in China?
Sorry?
What does this have to do? I'm sorry, I said China. What does this have to do with the price of tea in Ghana? What's the point here? Get to it. Land the
I'm
plane.
just pointing out how radical
Wrap this
you
shit
guys
up.
are.
Let's go. Okay, go ahead.
How
How is that radical?
It's super radical. You're pushing
How is
out
it
a
radical?
race because it's racist, first of all.
An Asian
That's
woman
super
did
radical. Are you serious? I mean, come on. That's like the most radical thing I've ever saw
this.
in
Just
the past
because you
year.
say it doesn't make it true. I think that I'm gonna need
So
to put that
search
on
it
a
up.
shirt. I'm gonna need to put that on a shirt. No, I said just because you say it doesn't make it. Excuse me, where'd that come from? All right, just because you say it doesn't make it true in regards to you saying that it's radical.
It's super radical.
It's super not. Okay,
Why
but
is it
I'm
not
reading about
radical?
the story, so let's see. All right, let's see here.
That's crazy how you're not saying that's radical. Oh my God.
She's an Asian woman. She
is.
can't be racist. So there's that.
And she let her husband in, which was white.
So
He's
I
not
thought you said
supposed to be
I thought you said she was radical and she was a racist.
Yeah, she's
But
radical.
she let her
and
white
racist.
husband in.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's crazy.
I want
It's
you to make
crazy
it
how
make
she's breaking
sense.
her own rules.
I just
That's
want you to
crazy.
make it make sense.
Make
Nothing
what?
about this is radical. Rude, inappropriate, likely. Radical,
What?
no.
Are you
A
serious?
silly decision, sure.
Are you serious
Radical,
right now?
no.
That's a joke.
No.
Wow.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
That is
'Cause that was silly.
insane. You're
Like,
radical.
that was really silly.
Radical people stay with
Oh my-
radical people.
I know what it's like to learn a word. You get a new word and you're
Yes.
like, how can I use this word in
You're the
context?
definition. You're the
Like,
definition.
how can I use this word in
You're the
context?
definition of the
I
word.
want to use this word as much as I
You're,
can.
you're the definition of the word.
Listen, like, come on, let's go. Like, what else do you want to talk about? Like,
I mean,
this failed. This
obviously
bombed.
you don't want to talk about it because you know
This
how bad
bombed.
it is.
This
But that's
bombed.
fine.
You just bombed.
You can say whatever you want.
You just
I mean,
bombed.
You can do whatever sounds you want.
You tell us what
it's
radical
wrong.
is then. What's radical?
You know it's wrong, and you don't.
What's
even wanna talk
radical?
about it. It's cool.
Okay, but what is radical? Tell us.
Democrats, you, Antifa.
No, love. That's not how any of this works.
Far,
What is the definition
far
of
leftists.
radical?
Did I already say you? You.
What is the definition of
Antifa,
radical?
Kamala Harris, Pocahontas,
Oh my gosh.
the Boston mayor,
Antifa is radical? What does Antifa stand for?
terrorism. That's what they stand for.
No.
Terrorism.
It doesn't. What
Yeah,
does
it does.
Antifa
They
stand for?
terrorism.
It stands for
You support
anti-fascism.
terrorism, too.
You're not
You
that
support-
bright. You're not that bright. All right, that's all there is to it.
You
You're just
support
not a bright
terrorism too.
person,
It's okay.
and you're just trying to. I fully believe in protecting my
Support
space.
racism
All
and
right,
terrorism.
I fully believe in protecting my
It's
space,
all cool,
so
dude.
you can go. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. All right, you just want to say buzzwords. So there we go. Guys, tap, tap, tap the screen, share the live. All right, there we go. That was fun. That was fun. Okay, hi, is it Bozeman?
That's right.
Okay, hi, Bozeman. Are you a Republican or did you vote for Trump?
Proud Republican, proud Trump supporter.
Okay, awesome. Do you disagree with the background? Yes, no, maybe so.
There's things that the Democrats could be good for the U.S., but in the most part, no. Let me ask you this: what did Black Lives Matters do for you? Has it helped you at all?
Um,
What did the Black Lives Matter movement do to you? Did it make your life better?
is that what we're talking about?
I just want to ask you
I
that.
just want to know if that's what we're talking about. Because is this your show or is this mine? Who juke joint is this? This your juke joint or mine?
What did BLM do for you?
Okay, I want you to tell us how Republicans are better for the USA. Please tell us.
What did
No,
BLM
no,
do
I
for
need you to focus. Reel it in.
You don't have an
Lock
answer,
in.
right?
Lock in. I don't have
Such
to answer your
a-
question. That's
such-
the thing. Lock
Such a
in,
fraud.
Bozeman.
What did
Lock
Black
in,
Lives Matters do for you?
Bozeman.
Kick me out then.
Lock in. Lock in. All right. Focus, love. It says Democrats are better for the USA with an amazing picture of Jasmine Crockett up there. All right. And she's waiting for you to answer the question. She wants you to tell her why you disagree. You're not doing that, Bozeman. You're talking about something else completely different. I need you, all right, to tell us why Republicans are better. And yes, we're talking about Republicans. You know why? Because we live in a two-party system. All right. That's I know a lot of people wish we were communists here. All right. But we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is the Democrats and the Republicans, and you disagree with the background. So you have to tell us why. Okay. Right. I know sometimes the mute button plays a game of cat and mouse with y'all, but you'll catch it. You'll get the cheese. Come off mute and tell the class why Republicans are better for the United States.
They don't give our money away to other countries. They care about they care about having a border.
I'm listening.
America first agenda.
What's America first mean?
What does America first mean? Exactly what the word says.
So
We
what
shouldn't
are
be
the
giving-
tenets of America
We
first
shouldn't
mean?
be giving
That's what
away
it-
money to
God,
other
like, y'all are
countries.
not smart.
We shouldn't be giving money away to other countries if there's a need for that money here in the US. Look at inner cities. Look at so much of the poverty that's around here. Why should we be giving away billions away to other countries? Can you answer that?
Why is under Republicans, why is the defense budget always increased? Why can't we use some of that money to help these inner cities
Maybe to
that you talk
protect
about?
you and I from other foreign countries.
Why are Republicans looking to cut social programs that actually help people break out of
Why?
poverty?
Because the guy is going in there
No,
and
no, 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 no,
discovering
no,
fraud
no,
and
no, no,
abuse?
no. What
So
fraud and
because he's
abuse?
discovering fraud and abuse, you think
Who's
it's cutting
discovering?
funding?
Who's discovering fraud and abuse? Yeah, he is. He
Elon
wants
Musk.
to cut $880 billion. All right.
$880 billion. Do you know how much that is? That's close to $1 trillion.
Yeah. Did you
Get
not
your
read
numbers
the?
right.
Did you not
Get your
read
numbers right.
the?
Where's your source?
Did you not read the budget plan? And it's 880 million. My apologies, but did you not read the budget plan?
Oh my God, you're a dumbass.
First of all, your mother. All right. Oh, not the skedaddle. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Okay, all right, guys. That was fun. They always say something like super rude and then leave. Mark, for the love of God, I saw 5 people in the chat tell you where Ren is. And are you just not reading the replies to yourself? All right, Ren is around. She will be here. She'll show up sometimes, just not tonight. She's no longer the official co-host, but she is around. And also, I hope that you're following her because she's going to be hosting her own lives. All right, and doing all of the awesome things. And Am I the A-hole? Along with interviews and talking about different subjects. So there's that. Hey, Mr. Skip. All right, guys. So let's keep tapping the screen, sharing the live. Oh, that was fun. All right, the crash outs are going to be amazing. All right, I just want to let y'all know that. Okay. All right. So don't y'all be internalizing this stuff. Okay. The crash outs are going to be amazing. All right, there we go. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right, guys. Let's keep doing all of the good things while we wait for more Trump supporters to grow a pair and request up. All right. Because obviously they cannot tell us how Democrats are actually better for the United States. They just can't. They can't tell us, I'm sorry, how Republicans are better for the United States. Let me drink water. I think I'm having way too much fun. I think that's what it is. I'm just having way too much fun. Because what? I just want to know. Hey, shout out to Dan's here. Thank you for the heart me. I know, Drea. Drea, in your nose, out your mouth. Also, drink some water. Drink some water. It's gonna be okay. I promise. I'm fine. I promise. I'm good. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Hello, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. All right. Let me see here. Do you disagree with the background?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Why do you disagree with the background?
I disagree with the background from a historical standpoint, not necessarily a character standpoint.
From a historical standpoint. Okay. All right. Explain.
Well,
Honk, honk,
Democrats.
honk. Sorry, that's not you. Whenever I get a goose, I got a honk. All right. It's not
Okay.
you. It's just, I got a goose. All right. There you go. I'm listening.
Democrats have been around longer than Republicans.
Mhm.
But Democrats were
Different.
against slavery. They were against segregation. They were Joe Biden himself started the war on drugs with the mass incarcerations from the 88.
New York City.
From the 88, I don't know if I can say that word, laws. And then the
Gotta lean in for
94, the 94 bill that he did as well, which was the biggest cause of mass incarceration. A lot of Democrats are still very much for stop and frisk and what they call urban communities. So it's like, if we really look at Democrats themselves, and as far as like tangible things for the Black community, what have they ever done for Black people specifically?
Are you serious? Did you really just say that Biden started the war on drugs?
Yes.
No.
Was he not the author of the 88 laws?
No. And it wasn't even Reagan. All right. It was Nixon who started the war on drugs.
Who was the author of that bill?
Tap the screen. Tap the screen, guys.
Who was the author of that bill? Who wrote that bill?
No, you said you want to look at things from a historical standpoint.
Who
That's
wrote
what
that
you
bill, man?
is that what you said?
Yes.
You said, okay, so if we're going to look at it historically, then we're going to look at the entire picture. Okay. So there's that part. All right. Yes. Democrats have existed. All right. We do understand that. Okay. We do understand that they've existed basically almost since the founding of this country. They have in different iterations. Okay. You said something. You said, this is what you said when you first started. You said Democrats have always been against slavery. That's what you said. You said they've always been against slavery.
Ending slavery.
You said
it was the Republicans who ended slavery. The Democrats was against ending it. That's what I meant. I may have said something different, but that's what I meant. So I
Okay.
apologize
Okay.
for it.
Thank you for clarifying, because I said that is incorrect. All right, but do you understand the difference between party and ideology?
Yes.
You do. So if you understand the difference between party and ideology, then why are you using that the Democrats wanted to keep slavery as a talking point, as part of your argument? Because if you understood the difference, then you would know about the shift in ideology during the 60s. So you would know that.
I don't see. Joe Biden was a Democrat when he specifically said that he was against segregation and didn't
He
want
did
his
not
kids.
say that
Ma'am,
he
listen,
was
excuse me,
against segregation. Go ahead,
said-
demonstrate
he-
what you know.
Okay, he said you can actually look this up yourself. Joe Biden said
I
he did
will. I'll
not
read
want his kids. Joe Biden said he did not want his kids growing up in the racial jungle. He said that. He was a Democrat when he said that. He's a Democrat now. So when did that switch change? When did that switch happen?
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on, Tony. Chat. Like, for real. Chat.
Is this real?
Come on, y'all. Sometimes when I hear outrageous stuff, I have to take a moment, process it, and then we have to go back to it, because this is outrageous. This is legitimately the most outrageous thing that I've heard in like a very long time.
The truth
Next
is
to the
often
guy saying that
outrageous.
slavery was a choice. Okay, here we go. I'm actually looking up the the document. I should have it saved, but I don't know why I don't have it saved. Let me see here, because I have like the remarks. Oh my gosh. Give me a moment. I'm looking it up for you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. And it was actually on busing. It wasn't about it was on busing. Okay, there we go. We need
See,
that.
I'm reading a couple
no,
of the comments, and I just want to
mm-mm.
clarify something right quick. So
Why
I
are
see
you
a
in the
couple of
comments though?
Huh?
Why are you in the comments? The
Oh,
comments are mean.
we don't read comments on here. My
No,
bad.
they're real mean. I promise you. They'll make you cry. They will make you cry. So don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Okay. There we go. Let's see if they'll let me get it here. I swear, I used to have it saved. I'm like, did it go away? Let's see here. Do. I need to play the whole music for myself right now. But go ahead, keep talking. What were you saying? You said that Biden didn't believe in that Biden believed in segregation, right?
No, he did not want to end segregation. He did not want to He did not want to integrate. He was against integration. He wanted to keep things segregated because his quote unquote word for word what he was documented as saying historically is that he did not want his kids to grow up in the racial jungle. Those were his words. And I'm sure if you research Joe Biden kids racial jungle, you can see the direct quote and where it was cited and everything, because he said that, and he was a Democrat when he said that, and he's a Democrat now. So I'm looking for when this switch happened, because
Where
like
is that document?
ultimately
Do we
I
have it?
don't do the sides thing. I think both sides are
Where is
completely
Nikki
racist,
when
but
I
I'm
need
not
her?
blind enough to think that one side is better
Why
than
don't I have? Is it on my laptop? Hold on one moment. I'm gonna find this because I have it from the actual Senate floor when he
no,
talked
this is
about
not
it.
this is
No,
not
no,
the
no,
super
no, no,
this
no.
is not
He
the
talked.
super
No,
P word. This is not that speech. Because I've seen a couple comments mentioned in the speech in '94.
I'm not talking. I
This is
didn't
not
say
the speech.
94. I said from the Senate floor.
Okay.
Someone calling. Not me looking around. Hold on one moment.
All right.
Hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump or are you a Republican? Hello? I don't have time for this tonight.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Hold on one moment.
Okay.
No, I'm not answering any more of your questions because I'm going to find this here. This is insanity because I can't wait to put it into context for you, because Joe Biden all right, was against busing. And the reason that he was against busing is because he did not want to take kids from their own neighborhoods and send them miles away from home just to go to school in unknown areas. He wanted to build up the schools in those neighborhoods.
Mhm.
In those neighborhoods. And when he said racial jungle, he was meaning taking children of color, putting them into an unfamiliar territory where they could be harassed and bullied. That would be the racial jungle. He
So
was
I don't
not
want
speaking.
black
No.
kids going to
He-
a
no,
white school.
he did not
you're
say
playing
that.
semantics. You're playing
Uh,
semantics.
no
to back
one is
him up.
playing semantics. No
He
one is
said he
playing
didn't want his kids
semantics.
growing up, and he was against segregation because he didn't want kids growing up. He didn't want
Do
his
you hear?
children.
Do you hear? Do you understand
Well,
what
no. 'Cause
against segregation
let's
means?
look at
Though
the word. he
words
said.
matter. You're saying against
Right. I agree with
segregation.
you. I agree with you. Words matter. He said he didn't want his children
If
growing up in a racial
you
jungle.
understand that
He didn't
words
say
matter,
all children. He didn't say
then
black
you.
children.
Why am I trying
He
to argue
said
your
he
point
didn't
for you?
want
You're
his
literally
children.
just not. You're just.
He
you're
said he
different.
didn't want his children
You are
to
different.
grow. Let's look at
I'm
the
gonna
quote.
find this
Let's look
very
at the quote. He was against segregation. He said, I do not want my kids to grow up in the racial jungle. And this is not, we're not even getting to the 94 crime bill and all the nasty things he said on that floor. We're not even about to
Is
get
this
into
it?
that.
Yes. Here we go. Save it. It's saved now. There we go. Okay.
I seen the whole 94 crime bill speech. I got it saved on my phone.
I don't care. I don't care. Like, what are you even talking
Come on,
about?
sister, we ain't got to be nasty to each other. We in this together.
I'm not being nasty to you. I don't care.
I'm asking you what the
Hold on
Democrats
one
said they're doing
moment.
for black people.
Hold on one moment. All right, there we go. Here we are.
We as
Okay.
black people
Mom,
need to get
can
off that Democratic hope
you-
train.
I'm about to read to the class. This is a part of the show that I really do enjoy. All right, so here we go. Okay. 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 All right. So he said, we have a fundamental disagreement, you and I suspect, as to what is needed to ensure that we do have orderly integration of society. I'm going to read that again. We have a fundamental disagreement, you and I suspect, as to what is needed to ensure that we do have orderly integration of society. Okay? That means that he is in support of integration. He just wants to make sure that it's done the correct way. Then he
Which
says,
means he was against the way that we were doing it. He was against the way
he
it was
can be
being
against
done.
the way that we were doing it. There's nothing
Okay.
wrong with being against the way that we were doing it.
Okay, so
He
what
wanted
was-
to make
what was
sure that it was
wrong
a
with the
better
way
way.
we did it?
Also,
What was
I'm
wrong with the
not
way we
finished.
integrated?
I'm not finished. I already told
Okay,
you that
go
part.
ahead.
All right. Then he says, I am not just talking about education, but all of society. I do not know your total position, Mr. Taylor has stated his, as have others. I am anxious to hear from Mr. Fleming of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. Unless we do something about this, my children are going to grow up in a jungle, the jungle being a racial jungle with tensions having built so high that it's going to explode at some point. We have got to make some move on this. You say I am throwing a book. I'm sorry, I am throwing the brick. I am not as good at analogies and homilies as all of you are, but I think pushing busing in a way in which it goes beyond the constitutional mandates is like throwing a bus through the civil rights window. I think it has repercussions that are extensive in terms of the ultimate objective of seeing that we get integrated neighborhoods, of seeing that we eventually eliminate job discrimination, of seeing that we change housing patterns, of seeing alteration of the tax structure. All right. Joe Biden wanted a fair and equitable system. He wanted children to go to school in their own neighborhoods.
That's
He was
not
basically
racist?
saying, no, it's not racist. He
Oh,
was
okay.
basically saying, why are we taking
Telling the black
children?
kid.
If
okay,
you
so
don't
wait,
stop
wait,
talking
sister,
while
hold on,
I'm
hold on.
talking, no, I'm not going to hold on. Stop talking while I'm talking. Thank you. All right.
You can talk the whole time. though.
No, I haven't been talking the whole time.
Go ahead.
All right. Don't tell me to go ahead either. This here my juke joint. Okay. Please stop talking when I'm talking. Now, with that being said, Joe Biden wanted it to be fair and equitable for these children. He did not see the reasoning behind taking children, all right, from their neighborhoods and busing them 10, 20 miles away to another school. Why not invest in those neighborhoods themselves?
You can have that.
Why-
You can have that. You
We
can have
know that I don't have to
that.
have anything.
Because
We
that's
know
just
that.
one racist
Those are
quote. Let's
his
get into the rest of the
words.
racist quotes he
Those
done
are
said,
his
because there's
words.
good and plenty. Joe Biden is the most racist politician in American history.
Ain't
Let's get
nobody-
into it.
you- okay,
He
so
said
no one is
poor
actually
kids
going
are-
to say
he said poor
that
kids
Joe
are just
Biden
as bright
isn't
as white
racist.
kids.
No one's
Explain
going to say
that.
that he isn't racist. He's an
Explain
old
that
white
poor
man.
kids are just as bright as white
Tap the
kids.
screen,
Because
guys.
that ties into the 94. That ties into what we're talking about. That ties into what we all right. We talk about kids going to school in their own areas.
Also,
right?
what I'm going to ask you to do
Now, let's
is, because
talk
I got on
about poor
headphones, I'm
kids.
going to ask you to calm your koofy down. All
Let's
right?
talk
Lower your
about
voice.
let's
Lower
talk
your
about
voice.
poor
Back away from
kids
the
being
mic.
just as bright as white
Hey.
kids.
Hey, lower your voice. Lower your voice.
Let's
Okay.
talk about
Your voice still loud.
poor kids being
Your-
just
your-
'cause
your voice is
can't-
still
you have
loud.
see you have no accountability. You can't even acknowledge
Your
the
voice
simple things I'm
is
saying
still loud,
at all.
and I need you
You
to
simple-
calm it down. Thank you. Okay? I don't like using this voice because it hurts, but I'm gonna need you to stop it. Thank you. Appreciate you, Tony.
All right. Let's get back to it. All right. Where you go, Tony? Come back. Come back, Tony. We can still talk. I just need you to lower your voice. I don't like when men yell. So just lower your voice. Are you looking for something? What's happening? Come back, Tony. Oh no, not the skedaddle. No. Oh my gosh. One of my badass kids is here. Did you lose another account?
No, this is my live account.
Oh, your live account? So you like
Yes.
have different accounts for different
I
things?
don't be going on the main one, nah, because these people be weird on this app.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
tried calling in your little phone number, but then it said the
Oh,
Google
I-
Voice number is disconnected.
I hung up on you.
Wow,
Because I
I'm
had to
sad.
listen, I'm not that, I'm old. I'm not that technologically savvy, okay? I had to turn the mic access on and I was like, how you do that? So I got to figure that part out.
I see.
Okay.
I like Google Voice. I called you from a Google Voice number too. I was like, so she know game too.
Yeah. But Slayer, here's the deal.
So,
I was listening to you like about a week or so ago, and I heard you call a black woman a fat B word. And I ain't like that. That was not okay.
Ooh.
Why would you do
Wait,
that?
hold up. She came for me. Now, if you come for me, I'm going to hell. Like I
Mm-mm.
promise you. You
That is
come
not
for
okay,
me,
Slayer.
I'm going to hell.
Slayer. I think you
So
gotta
wait a second,
apologize.
it
That was
doesn't
not
matter.
nice.
Apologize to who? I don't even know
What she say to you? What she say?
She had started saying that I was cooning and doing some tap dancing shit, and then she was like saying, "Oh well, Harriet would have blanked you in the middle of the night." And I was like, you know what? You need to get your neck
you
to
for the
stop
good night.
oppressing you. So of course,
Slayer,
I said,
I didn't tell you to repeat
What?
what you said. Good grief. I need you
I
to
mean,
behave yourself.
I'll stand 10 toes down on it, like Michelle Obama said. Well, I'm not a Michelle Obama. If you swing at me, I'm going to hell.
Slayer, that wasn't okay. Like seriously, that wasn't okay.
Wait a second. So you mean I'm supposed to just like not say
You
anything back?
Well, listen, there's a way and how you can do things, and I understand like when we feel like we're being attacked that we have to attack back. But like, be serious. Like you were wrong.
You say it so calmly now. Okay, so she wasn't wrong either.
I can say that both people were wrong. I mean, she wasn't telling a lie.
Okay, all right.
Listen.
Look, I'll admit I was wrong. I mean, I admit it. I said I would go to hell. Like, I mean,
Okay.
if somebody comes for me, I match energy.
Okay, Slayer. Am I saving this? Like, I have to save it by a page? That is wild. Okay, so
But
done.
yeah, I came up because the last dude, even though we're on two different sides of the political aisle, and true conservatives would understand that the '94 crime bill was not racist. Mass incarceration occurred because during that time, if you look at like historical context, there was rampant crime running. It wasn't
Exactly.
just D-Rugs. There was like mass unalivers running rampant in the city.
Yes.
You had auto theft. Like
Yeah.
it was bad,
Crime
and
was
nobody
bad.
nobody told people to commit crime. So first off, you got to start with accountability.
But
If
we
you
have,
did the
but
crime, you do the time.
we have to look at what caused people to actually commit those crimes, though. So I do believe in accountability. I get that part, but we have to look at what was causing people to actually commit those crimes. We had a generation of people where their neighborhoods had been basically flooded with a new D-rug. All right, and we know what that was, the C-rack. We know what that
Mhm.
was. All right. That was taking people who were having they're going professional jobs. I'm just gonna name arbitrary jobs. They were stockbrokers, they were teachers, right? These were nurses. All right. These were people who were good citizens. Good. I can just speak on it from what like my family told me about growing up with it, is that they said that this was something that people just wanted to try. It's either you liked it or you didn't. And if you did like it, you became a C head. If you didn't like it, you never did it again. All right. And it was just something that was so heavily available. It was super just available. It was literally like candy. All right. And it was being passed out. And once people were hooked on it, we know Slayer. Like, I don't know, where did you grow up? I don't know where you grew up, but like, where did
I
you
mean,
grow up?
I grew up in an area with a lot of crime. It's still a city that does have a lot of crime.
Yeah. And same here. So right now, I'm not debating with you or anything of that nature. I'm not, we're literally just talking. All right. That D-Rug, and we have the evidence that Reagan, working with the Contras, actually set it up to put this product into urban communities to fund, his secret war, down there in Nicaragua. Okay, so we know these things. What?
Yeah, all right. So this is where, so I'm tracking, but I do have to disagree on a few points.
I'm listening.
The big overall arching one, like you said, we're not debating, it's a conversation.
Mhm.
The overarching point is that nobody told people to do these things, right? Like I know, like families told each other, do not be, doing illicit things that can potentially unalive you. But the second thing with Reagan, I agree that, with the Contras, he was there has been some forms of evidence that would suggest that using a 3-letter agency, that some things bypass into the U.S. However, there's been no official statement from the U.S. that this has occurred. So solely going based upon that, right, because I know we're big on evidence, right? Nobody told people to do these things. So there has to be accountability with, if you took it, you knew what potentially was gonna happen. Like every other rug, like if somebody was saying, okay, well, it's just like, doing some grass, and you knew grass, like your parents told you, don't do that grass in my presence, you shouldn't be doing it,
C-Rack is a little bit different though. C-Rack is different. All right.
I mean, it's still
What
like
did the
that.
effect? It was new in the effect that it had on people. All right. Literally, like some people have chased that high there for over 40 years now. All right. So see, it was just different. And it was and then it made people's lives, it turned people's lives upside down. Hold on one moment. I'm doing something on YouTube. All right. I need Trisha. All right, Trisha, you are, let me see. You are now a mod. There you go. All right, so Trisha, you are a mod on YouTube now, and Sky. All right, Sky, you can be a mod too. All right, here we go. See. Okay, all right. Fantastic. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on YouTube. All right, let's see what's happening at Twitch. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Bruh, I'm multitasking. That's a lot. It's a lot of work.
I'm like in your war room or something right now. Like,
all right.
man,
Okay, good. So we are in, so Twitch is good. Okay. All right. So here we go. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, all right. Okay. Yeah. So again, C-Rack was just something that was completely different. We've seen the stories, we've seen the documentaries. All right. So we have evidence of what these things did. It was turning darn going teenage boys into friggin' kingpins. All right. We know about Alpo and Rich. We know about what's his name? Rayful. We know about all of these guys. Okay. And like even I like know people personally who were involved, and I ain't gonna say no names. Okay. And I know people who were addicted, and it poverty. So poverty, and then also with this addiction, the two mix cause people to commit crimes. Because if they didn't have a habit to support, then they were just trying to break out of poverty by, unaliving people, to rob them, stick up boys or stick up kids. They were stealing vehicles, to get the parts to sell. Like we know why they were doing these things, and yes, they have to have accountability, but we can't just skip over the fact why they were doing it, Slayer. Well, yeah, the why. We can't just skip over that part.
I mean, but like, so when we say why, to me, that's almost like a justification for it, right? Like, it's like
Don't look at it like that.
but that's the only way too, because, and I mean, like, I feel like this is like one of those, we're not gonna ever agree on it. If you're doing these things that are landing you in hot water, I'm not saying that certain rugs don't affect people and their brains, but at the same time, you have to have accountability, and especially the kingpins, they saw what was going down on the street. They understood, like, you're sending this to people in your own community and it's affecting them negatively. So if that's what's happening, why would you continue to make, like, money is enticing, yes, but I know everybody in the house has said not all money is good money, right?
But the love of money is what?
The love of money is the root of evil.
Exactly. All right. They saw this product, they saw it as a way out of the position in which they were in. And they would do any and everything, all right, to get out of that position. If that meant that they had to sell to a loved one, they sold to a loved one. If that meant that they had to be cutthroat and maybe rob a person, like, you know what I mean, they did it. That's what they saw. And like Rand said, it's called a mitigating circumstance. All right, so it's not an excuse. All right, it's not a reason. Doesn't have to be an excuse. It's simply just a reason. All right, you still have to face the consequences of what you did. So we do agree. We agree that you have to face the consequences. I agree with you also that crime was rampant in the early and mid 90s prior to that bill being signed. Crime has gone down, but but still, it's like it was the 90s was a wild time. The 90s was definitely a wild time, and we just have to realize, okay, why these things were happening. That's it. Okay, Slayer's on mute. So guys, tap the screen. Can we get this at least to 125,000? I mean, we've been having like I can't see the number. All right, it's 280 people in here. I know we can get this up to at least 125,000. All right, I think. Oh, it's after 10 o'clock. It's almost nap time.
Like, yeah. So, oh, sorry. Were you done? I didn't mean to cut you off your announcement.
No, you're fine. Oh, hold on one moment, Slayer. No worries, but you're good. Just hold on one moment. Also, guys, we're still $80 to goal. $80 to goal. I don't ask for a lot. So if you do have an in you to give, by all means, PayPal, Venmo, and I do have a Zelle, everythingwitherica9@gmail.com. Pay links are in the bio. I appreciate all your support, your love, your encouragement, and your engagement. I think we can all knock that out, especially since there's over 80 of us in here. So if everyone, at least 80 of us, sent $1, we can knock that out. Let's see what happens. All right, what were you saying, Slayer? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, then that's like where I saw Ren's comment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see, for me, when I think of community, I think of love, right? And I think of everybody in the community going towards a shared goal or a shared completion and the respect of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it just comes off as, in order to quote unquote make it out, I'm gonna have to do whatever it takes. But if that's what we're saying to justify it, then we can justify damn near everything. I won't use excuse, but it's just like
justification. I know. it can sound that way to you, but I'm literally telling you, it's not a justification. Looking at the reason why something occurred doesn't mean that I'm justifying it. All right. I can literally say that, I cheated because I was unhappy. All right. I can literally say that. That doesn't mean that that's me justifying it. All right. I still have to take accountability for me cheating for what I did wrong. This is the why. All right. If you feel that that's a justification, that's you projecting that onto me. I don't think it's a justification. It's just the reason. That's it.
No,
And
it's
it,
not like.
uh-huh.
Oh, go ahead. No,
Uh,
I was just saying it's not me projecting it onto you. It's more of a sense of like the standpoint, like when you hear community, right? If you think you like your neighbor, right? If you let's just say hypothetically in a world where you know your neighbor, you care for your neighbor, you're always over at their house, you're not gonna then come to them and say, hey, I got this new thing, you want to try it? And then like you've seen people time in and time again see what happens to their lives when they take the thing that you're selling them that completely uproots it and ends it.
well, I think that's a very simplistic take, but you'd be surprised how often that actually does happen. Like that's literally what was happening in the 80s. They were passing that stuff out like candy. They were passing it out like candy, Slayer. Like seriously.
Oh, so
Right?
you mean kind of like a Costco sampler, and then like once
Yes,
you got
literally
it,
like
okay,
the dudes, the boys, they was literally on the corner passing it out for free. I'm serious. I don't know how old your parents are. If they were old enough to be like
oh, they
teens
know,
or adults,
they
they do.
know,
Ask
yeah.
them. Ask them. I'm serious. Ask
One of
them.
my parents is a boomer, so yeah.
Okay, ask them, dude. I'm seriously. Go talk to them. All right, and
Well,
they
so
samples.
so here's the thing. The reason like why I know it and kind of like maybe the position that I'm in. So my aunt, she unalived, and I found her no, it's okay. I found her unalive with a thingy in her arm because she took H. Yeah, and she was badly addicted to that stuff. Then my uncle, who is also my dad's brother, he unalived from H as well. And so he he always instilled in us like, don't do the D stuff, because that stuff is going to unalive you. And like he
Yeah.
was very hard on us for it. And so like it's just one of those things where I feel that okay, if that's how like my father, if like that's how he's showing love to me, is like okay, like don't do this stuff. To me, if I'm looking at a community aspect, like why would you give your community members this stuff? And like you've been on the ground for so long, you see how it's affected other people's lives. Why continue this?
No, I totally understand what you're saying. I mean, growing up with family members who were addicted to C-Rack, like that put in my mind that, hey, D-Rug's bad. I'm never doing that. I'm never going to do any type of hard D word. Like, I'm just not going to do it. That's for me because I saw what it did, but that's not everyone. It's not everyone. You do know that some people are just predisposed, like genetically predisposed to addiction. All right. And
Oh yeah, I mean yeah,
yeah, so
there's science behind that.
yeah, and unfortunately it happens. So again, when I say that I'm giving you a reason as to why these things were happening in the 80s and the
Okay,
90s, it's literally just a reason. It's not an excuse because they still
okay.
had to be held accountable. My only issue is not my only, but one of the issues that I have was with how Reagan did it with the CRAC laws. All right, where he made, if you had, what was it, like a gram of the expensive powder, you got what, like was it a year? And then if you had a gram of the hard, you got 10 years.
Oh, you're talking about wait, but I thought that was under Nixon first. Cause wait,
Mm-mm,
no,
that was
wait, yeah,
Reagan.
you're right. It's Reagan. Cause that was
Yeah.
the 85 or the 86 crime bill. There was one
Yep.
before it.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
That
no,
one
I
was
get what
soft.
you're saying, but I think also too this is like where I mean both sides kind of like fueled this like narrative because I mean then you had like the coining of super predators that came 10 years later, which there's been lasting impacts and studies of what that's occurred.
1 to 100.
So I
There we
think
go.
like
I
I
was just
think like
reading
yeah, we
about it.
can.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah. No, that's what it was. 1 to 100. Yeah. Like I think both sides definitely fueled the flames with this. I mean, I'll say that yes, the 84 one definitely did worse. And then, when we got to the 90s with kind of like this marketing campaign against it didn't really help it out much more, So that's kind of my 2 cents on those issues.
Mm-mm. I just think that was unfair, what they did. I'm checking on that one because I swear, like Ren always says this. She said this to me earlier today. She likes to say that, what did she say? Oh, I done forgot more than you know. I so much information. It's a lot of information. And what I'm checking on it is that whether or not the impact of it, because it was passed by a Republican Congress and then by a Republican president. And we know that basically the CRAC laws were detrimental. All right, that's another reason that we could say that crime was high in the early 90s and mid 90s. And that's why they had to pass the 94 crime bill, is because we were taking Black men from their homes for just simply possessing 5 grams of a product and giving them 5 years in prison. Lord, don't let them have more. People being locked up for life just for possession. And then them lying and saying that it was intent to distribute. So instead of getting people help, what they did is they imprisoned people, destroyed entire lineages of families. That's why we have like a whole generation right now that I think this generation, Gen Z, a lot of them, apathetic. They don't care about anything or anyone. It's all about self. And that's because they had to grow up a certain way without family, because their family, if not in prison, then they were on drugs. There's so many people living like that today. Again, we're just talking, Slayer.
What'd you say?
I said, again, we're just talking.
I know. Look, I wouldn't even like get loud. I didn't even make you use no voice changer. Like, come on, man.
Not the voice changer, Slayer.
Nah, you got a soundboard. I know you got a mixer. Stop that. Stop.
Go on.
So I would say like I think Generation Z is more 50-50, but I think it's more so if you're going down the apathetic route, I would say the cause for that though has been more so family. Yeah, well, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, there has been family that people haven't grown up with, but I would say it's more so there's a lack of morals that may have been instilled in those family members that aren't there. But I would say it's more immediate family. So, we've got families that are working longer. A lot of kids are being raised by the internet. There's studies that show it, right? I think the last time I read a study on this, and you can fact check this, it came from Forbes, but 53% of Gen Z is on some sort of SSRI or some sort of stimulant. And so, like a lot of that plays into your experience, right? Like now I'm not going to say some people biologically don't have some sort of deficiency in their bodies that would contribute to prolonged periods of depression, but at a rate of like 53%, that calls for like a massive study.
Deficiency. Why you use that word? Why use that word, Slayer? Deficiency.
It's like, okay, so it's midnight, Erica. I'm about to go to sleep, but like, I don't think deficiency is the right word, but like maybe like nutrients or like you have some sort of.
Can you just say chemical imbalance?
Chemical imbalance. That's the word that I'm looking for. Thank you. It's like midnight. I got probably like 4 more minutes and I'm going to bed.
Okay, go on.
But yeah, like I just think like there should be a huge study because like you are right. You're on to something about the fact that there is family that's been missing. But I
These
think,
things have consequences.
yeah, exactly. But I think also too, like with Gen Z, there is like people that are on the fence. Like there's 50-50. There's people that are growing up without immediate family in their life that
Mhm.
can instill morals and preach empathy rather than everything that is out for like self-preservation.
That's an interesting take. Okay. Arena, you left a voice message? Okay, that was weird. All right. So
Ren left a voice message?
no. You left a voice message.
Oh.
That 312 number. But you hear? I mean, okay. To wrap this up, to like bottle this up and then put it to the side since you only have a few more minutes. I agree. We basically are agreeing here. All right. And especially because we both seen it. All right. So there's no necessarily disagreement that has to be argued, if that makes sense. I just think that with how the racial disparity between C-rack users and the powder users, all right, and how they were punished was very, very stark, and it destroyed a generation of the Black community. And we are seeing the effects of that, I think. And yeah, I do think a study should be done. I do. Like, and then we can see how we can, I don't know, better it for future generations, instead of treating addiction like a crime, because we see what's happening with opioid abuse. Tap the screen, guys. Let's do all the good things. I don't know if I can even say that, but yeah. But I'm gonna set one manifestation goal. It's a really small one, because I don't think we're knocking out this the goal tonight. So there we go. So I'm just gonna do this right here and see what happens. There we go. Confirm. Okay, guys, keep doing all the good things. Definitely trying to get to at least 125,000 likes to see where this goes. But yeah, Slayer, I wanted to pivot to something else really quick.
Mhm.
Were you here when that man said that slavery was a choice?
Kanye?
No, it wasn't Kanye. Some dude was here and he said that slavery was a choice. It was a Black man. He said slavery was a choice. And I was like, what in the Kanye West is going on? I did think that, but I didn't say it out loud. I just couldn't believe he was a real human being.
Erica, I'm
If
going to
you okay, Slayer, you know what? Good night.
bed. Good night, Erica.
See you later. Bye,
Good
Slayer.
night.
Goodbye. Not tonight. Not tonight, Slayer. Not to fucking night. Nope. Not doing it. I'm not doing it. My blood pressure just came down. All right. My blood pressure just came down, y'all. All right. Not tonight, Slayer. Not tonight. It just came down. Okay. I just took the cuff off. Okay. I just took the cuff. I gotta explore why they believe this. Uh-oh, my boss is here. My boss is here. Hey, don't come on camera. My boss is here. All right. I know. Do y'all hear him? But John, they didn't hit the goal though, so I can't leave yet. They got $80. They didn't hit the goal.
Someone donate $80 before our last shout on here. Chop, chop. Chop, chop.
Oh my gosh, that's the best mod announcement ever, Bubba. Pound it out. Pound? Just give me a pound. You're not gonna give me a pound?
Close your eyes.
No, you're not gonna hit me in the face.
No, I'm not.
Pound?
No.
You can't come on camera.
Mom, I promise you. Just close your eyes for 10 seconds.
keep your feet on the ground. Thank you. Go. I'm almost
Hey, let's
finished,
do it
okay?
again.
No, pound it out. No, I don't want you to stop touching me with your feet. Stop. Stop. Go.
I'll put it all over your face.
Go. Thank you.
We'll do it.
John. John, go now. All right, guys. All right. So I think I'm about to just wrap it up. Let's call it a night. All right. Let's just let's just go to sleep. Okay. Is there anyone live that we could raid? Is there anyone live? Oh, let me bring my whatchamacallit up here. Request. Can y'all let me know if there's anyone live that we could go raid? I gotta mute her before we get an echo. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Mermaid is live? Okay. All right, guys. So we are going to go do a mermaid raid. All right. On the little sis. We're going to go do a mermaid raid. Okay, guys. Let's see here. Trish, can you please drop her? She's getting off? Oh, fudge. Jess is live? My baby's live? Oh my gosh. Jessica's live? Okay. All right. Jessica's live. Mermaid is leaving, but Jessica is live. Let me message Jessica real quick. Where's Jess? There you go. And guys, if you're not following my backup, by all means, please do so. Please follow the backup. All right. Just in case something happens, and I'm going to need that live access. All right. So please, thank you. Let's follow the backup. All right. I was thinking on my backup account, I was going to do brunch content because y'all know that I like all the pretty things and like perfumes and candles and dressing up. Like the best part of going out for me is like the getting ready part. After that, I just want to go back home. I'm not kidding. I'm like, okay, I look cute. I'm gonna go back home now. There's that. So I think I want to do I call it brunch content. Fudge. I know carbon is an ending. So there's that. Okay, I guess we can go send it to take the picture, right, Glory? Take the picture and leave. That's it. Like, oh, you saw the outfit? Okay, bye. All right, okay. I guess we can rate Carbon. We can rate Carbon. Can someone put Carbon's name in the chat so I can put it on a sticker? Please, and thanks. All right. And again, guys, if you're not following my backup, by all means, Erica Shante with the square heart thing. I don't know what that emoji is, but please follow the backup. All right. And let's see here. Hey, can we hit one goal? I don't know what we're going to do on my lonesome anymore. All right. Can we hit one goal? We didn't get to 125,000 likes. We still have the headbands or whatever they're called, the flower garlands. Thank you, Trisha. I feel like a princess. All right. Thank you, Drea. I am a princess. I really am. A princess. All right. Okay. So it's spelled that way. All right. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Okay, guys. So thank you, Corey. All right, draw some hearts in the chat for my loves. Thank you. All right, I'm trying. Can someone, it's Carbon. It's CA. Thank you guys for knocking that out. All right, there we go. It's spaces. Did I spell that right? I did. It's KARBON. Go tell him hi from the loves. Put an Erica Raid in there. Erica Raid. All right. Erica Raid. All right, guys. I want to thank you so much for doing all of the good things tonight. All right. You are absolutely fantastic and amazing. I appreciate each and every last one of you. All right. Loves, I will be taking constructive criticism in the Discord, in the live stream chat afterwards. You get to fill out a survey. Let me know, how did this go? How did you enjoy it? Do you like the new background? All right. The new prompt that we have here. Like, what do you think? All right. What can we do to improve? All right. And when we say we, I mean me, because, it is what it is. Okay, guys. So I am so thankful to have you all. And thank you for the love, the support, the encouragement, and the engagement. And I leave you with this. I got to get outro music, but I leave you with this as I do every single night. Let's go raid Carbon, KARBON. Let's go raid him, Erica Raid. All right. Also, guys, if you can't do something kind for yourselves, please do something kind for someone else. Night. The terrors we think are still biting. They are. They're biting like heck.
Future, right? You'd be harming it, right? Harm is going to be some
Is that applicable to every entity?
David, this is the
to every entity. No, it's not applicable to every entity.
Okay.
Like,
Bro, guys, don't wash your hands. Like,
don't wash your hands. Huh?
yeah, because you're causing
Don't take a
harm
shower,
to,
guys, or
to
get in
these
your bed.
bacteria that in
Stand
like
up.
7 trillion years might become a
Wait,
human
I
like
think
you.
I think you're very confused. Did I say
yeah,
that
am
just?
confused. It's
Yeah,
like-
it's clear.
yeah. Again,
I said
so,
that it's. Hold on. To be clear, right? So Julie said to me that it's not a being, and I said, okay, a being is just going to be a living organism, right? Just because it's a
Okay.
living organism doesn't. I don't take it to be the case that all living organisms can be harmed. I take it to be the case that an organism whom would have a teleological predicate towards higher rationale and or just eudaimonia would then for be harmed, right? To a morally significant degree.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but like I don't view this to be the case though.
Give
I
a fuck
don't-
what you
I
think.
You're
I don't
saying
give a
again. This is
shit.
what I mean when I say
What the
when
bro?
I say. But wait,
saying I don't give a
this is
shit
what
is
I mean
not
when I say
consistent
that
with
this
my
is just like I literally just texted David that this is the flow argument with bigger, dumber words. Like I don't care about any kind of like potential future or eudaimonia
Yeah, that's just a
that this
concession.
entity
Like,
might
you're